Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast. And in this episode, we're going to give you our review for episode 5 of The Idol, now streaming on Max, starring Lily Rose Depp and The Weeknd. This was a really interesting and I think ambitious episode. I know a lot of people had its qualms with the show so far. We're going to tell you the truth. Stay tuned. Dylan, why don't you give us your thoughts?
Was music to my ears.
Yeah.
Well, like Finkelstein in this episode, I was worried that the show might not live up to its promises, but then it kind of took me by surprise. I will say I actually was pretty satisfied with this last episode. It felt maybe a little bit rushed with how things turned out because there was like a big 6-week time jump between the showcasing and then her tour. I thought maybe we'd see like a little bit of like her tour. But it was fine. I was to be honest, it was fine for me. How about you?
Yeah, I agree. This is a show that it has many issues and consistencies and stuff like that. But for the most part, I find it to be a guilty pleasure. It's really weird for me to say, but for some reason, I kind of want to see the world burn and there to be a season 2, maybe.
There's so many Tedros memes out now.
Yes, yeah. Well, actually, Tedros in this episode was really interesting. He had a unique character change that I did not expect. And I felt like, yeah, I could see that. Of course, there's supposed to be an episode 6, but they scrapped it early on and they said we finish our story of episode 5. It does feel like a thing that they just shoot in, and it also feels like probably The Weeknd wanted to have a better ending for Tedros since he's one of the leads. But to be honest, after a while, I mean, you dig through the show, you try to find its deeper meanings and stuff, but also, on the other hand, I'm just watching a show and I'm forced to watch because I have to review it. But in a way, I kind of enjoy it sometimes. It's odd to say, but there's something about it that's just sometimes it's really cringe or cheesy or too sexy. And it's like with this ending, I felt good. I don't know. I just felt like, oh, okay, nice. I know it wasn't probably the most realistic narrative or the way it could have ended, but for some reason, I dug it. I was fine with it.
You know why I liked it? I'll tell you why we liked it. Because we're still depressed from Succession.
Yeah.
And we thought this was going to end up like someone was going to get fucked over.
Right.
But everybody actually had what they got what they wanted in a way. So it was like a really wholesome ending. I thought it was going to be like Succession where, because in the beginning, it seemed like Jocelyn and Tedros had like this combative relationship, I guess. So I guess from the last episode, they didn't really trust each other. And then, Jocelyn was recording and then Tedros was like interrupting her at times. And then they kept saying like, fuck you, fuck you. And then they have this big showcase where Nikki and Finkelstein come in.
Oh, that was wonderful.
And I'll tell you right now, that girl who plays Chloe, Suzanna's son, she has such an amazing voice. I don't know what other thing she's been in, but she needs to do more music. I swear to God. Even Troye Sivan, just singing that Beatles song was awesome too.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think of that whole scene where they're all like showcasing their talent? I thought it was amazing, to be honest.
I had fun. There was the right amount of sexy in it. I think it was definitely a great performance. It blew my mind because everybody there, and you needed everybody to be talented, right? They're not bullshitting. And it adds to the authenticity of the fact that Tedros is kind of like a powerhouse. It's just he's sleazy and that gets in the way. And he's just not a good person, but I think he learned that lesson by the end and he was the one who was tricked. But anyways, with this scene, my goodness, I enjoyed it so much. I was fine. It was like, one thing I hated was that people kept on interrupting, but I got it though. It was unique how they did it. They kept on going back and forth, and it was like as if you're in a queen's courtroom, if you will, and like everyone's saying gossip or whatever, but the main conversation is there with the queen and the king. So that was pretty cool how they did that. Also, so it was Lucas from Silo.
I was just thinking that. I was just thinking, you know what? No, scrap what I said about someone getting fucked over because Rob got mad fucked over. Shit, this is a sad week for certain characters. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, because so he got accused of sexual assault. So I guess Xander was working for Tedros. I guess Tedros was being petty about the whole, Rob, sex thing with Jocelyn. So yeah, I wonder what's gonna happen with that. If he's gonna come out and do something with Jocelyn or something. I don't fucking know. Maybe they're saving that for a season 2. It feels bad. And also Leia, like she was trying to talk to Jocelyn. I feel like she didn't really go anywhere at the end of the episode.
She was one of the weakest characters.
She left, and then like, okay, like, well, obviously Jocelyn had nothing to do with it because she was upset about it. So I was like, why are you leaving Jocelyn?
Yeah, I know. It was. I don't know. I think her character is really weak. At the end of the day, it felt like a pestilence when she was just there. I was like, she was trying to be nice, but then you keep on kissing Isaac, and then you're like laughing, drinking, doing coke, and then Joss, and then all of a sudden now you're drinking again, and then you had enough. So in a way, it's like she saw that Jocelyn doesn't really need her, especially like she has her replacements too.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I think there may be a new villain if there will be a season 2, Diane. So, yeah, let me get your thoughts on Nikki, because Nikki is really sneaky too. Because I thought she was going to go against Jocelyn.
I felt bad for Diane. Shit, when she got fucked over like that, and yeah, she basically took her song away. I was so sad. I mean,
good for her. No, that's good. That's justice.
Well, yeah,
good.
It is Jocelyn's song. Yeah, I do agree with that. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, well, she could have at least put her on tour with Jocelyn or some shit.
Fuck her.
She was still a backup dancer. Well, she did. Remember, she did. They
should have threw her off the high rise. They should have. Yeah, she's a bitch. She's sneaky, right? And here's why the ending doesn't make sense for the majority of the audience, because it doesn't make sense. It's an absolute trash ending, but it's a feel good ending, and it's like cute, kind of in a way. But it's an ass ending. It doesn't make sense, because how do you like feel mad that Rob now is getting accused, but then you don't show Jocelyn rectifying it at all? So Rob is done. And then also with Diane, that was the one thing that was like a needle like in her back, and she was like, oh, I want to get back at Diane for revenge. But then all of a sudden you bring back Tedros, and so now Diane is like grinding her teeth looking at like the monitors and shit. So I'm fine with that, because Diane is a sneaky bitch.
Also is Nikki too.
Nikki is.
They came about because of Nikki.
Well, Nikki is, but still, Diane was like working in there. It was like a Cold War, right? She was one of the dancers.
She was even trying to get Tedros too, like on the low. She was like, I see this as. I feel like she was trying to manipulate him while he was still like high as fuck. But she was pulling strings during that whole expose. If you notice. No, I know everybody was, to be honest. I mean, even Fahim and Destiny.
Yeah. Yeah.
They tried to get because I feel like the Tedros' prodigies are in a better situation than they were with Tedros, because I feel like they didn't really go anywhere. Because he pimped them out, right? And they were just like in this club, right? They didn't really aspire to be anything. But now with Jocelyn, it's like they have a career, right?
Yeah, and that goes back to the name of the show, The Idol. And it's like Tedros just, I don't know, maybe he lacked vision, but he knew how to practice it. In a way, it's interesting, because, and that's what they needed. They needed Jocelyn. They had enough of Tedros. They had one trainer, and now they have Jocelyn to take them all the way. Let's talk about so first of all, I just want to quickly mention, so they tried to pay off Tedros, and then after that, Tedros said no, she's more valuable than any money, and so she's priceless, which I thought was really interesting. And then they slandered his name using Talia as the reporter, and so his club closed down and everything. Now, half of the show, half of the episode, we see practice for the concert that will be held, and I love that they sung the family song, and we see Chloe, of course, leading that. I thought that was really, actually, for some reason I felt teary-eyed. I don't know why. It's so weird. How does the show get me? But for some reason at the end, I don't know, I just like seeing people in a good place, I guess, and it seemed like they were in a great place, finally accomplishing their goals. Let me get your thoughts on the concert. I'm
not gonna lie, when Fahim said plan B, and then we saw him take him off in the limo. This fucked up. I thought he was gonna take him out in the woods, like the scrolls, like grab him and like shoot him in the head or something.
That was the original director's
right? But I mean, he kind of humbled Tedros, right, with the whole Red Riding Hood story, right? Because Fahim and Destiny are like Jocelyn's like parental figures, right? And even Destiny told him straight up, like, don't hurt her, otherwise I'm gonna hunt you down, right? That was funny too, because like she even had like this red scarf, so it was like she's like Red Riding Hood too. I was actually I kind of felt sad for Tedros, I'm not gonna lie, because it was so stupid too. Like all the producers are like sitting on this balcony and laughing like evil villains, like, oh, we ruined him. And then he had nothing left, right? But I thought it was sweet that Jocelyn left him a ticket, right? And then the security guards tried to fuck with that. This is some shit you would do to me. Like they were like, oh yeah, she's never heard of you. Oh, I'm just fucking with you, man. Go in there. No, but I thought that was sweet. And then he got to see her backstage and see her on her first live tour, and more than that actually, because then he got to go on stage, and then he even got to share a kiss with Jocelyn. I thought he was gonna sing, to be honest. I thought The Weeknd would have had a duet with Lily Rose Bourne or something. But
I tell you what, this episode it completely ruined the other episodes. It made it completely obsolete. Like it's completely inconsistent, and I don't know if that was like a gotcha. I kind of got the sense that Jocelyn, again, that was like revenge last episode, and now also in that scene when they're in a dressing room, apparently the whole mother hitting her thing was fake.
Yeah, because she just bought that.
Yeah, so so basically, in a way, what they're trying to convey, at my point of view, is that, oh, she's a boss bitch and she was actually using Tedros to get motivation. But if you're a boss bitch since the beginning, then why did you get this guy and waste your time? Right. Is it just for fun at the end of the day? So it was like, oh, do you like the drama? It was super inconsistent, the fact that they did that, and she got him. So now she is including him in her kind of cult or posse or something. And I mean, yeah, it was nice. I don't know. It felt like really nice to see it emotionally, but it did not make any sense. It was super inconsistent, of course. And I know a lot of people probably feel the same way.
Yeah, I totally agree. It was very inconsistent because, I mean, it was good that, at least I like seeing her in a spotlight where she's not just like some, naive girl being used by everybody. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, if you had this whole plan to use Tedros, like, why did you have to make up all this shit, right? So I guess Xander was right at the end about the whole, maybe the mom was toxic. Who knows? But maybe she kind of like made the story up to use Tedros for inspiration. I don't know. For sure, I don't know. No, but I thought it was sweet. I think she forgave him a little bit too quickly too. I mean, after all that, shit that they went through. At the end of the day, I guess it was a nice wholesome ending.
It was. It didn't make sense, but I think it was something to try to pull on whoever cares about the show, their heartstrings, and like make them feel good. So overall now, and I wonder what the public thinks too, because like these people slandered Tedros all this time and the producers were happy about it. And all of a sudden now they're all seeing this guy come up. I don't know if they mentioned Jocelyn at all in the article, but now this guy comes out of stage. They're like, oh my God, you're abuser or whatever. Right. Yeah. It didn't make any sense, but it was an entertaining episode, I feel, especially the beginning with the dance and stuff. So
yeah, for sure. I was definitely entertained. I think this was one of the higher up episodes for sure. Maybe perhaps another episode could have been implemented where we kind of see like the aftermath of everything and how her career is going, but I don't know if this has been highlighted for season 2 yet, but I kind of want to, like you said, it is like a guilty pleasure show. Like I actually enjoyed watching like the drama unfold, and I like the musical talent as well in the show. I think it's one of those shows where it's like you appreciate the musical aspect more of it, right? But if you had to rate it, how would you rate this episode?
So okay, Critic Me will rate this episode a 3 or 4 out of 10. Audience me, just watching it because it's sexy and entertaining and fun, I probably will give it a 8 out of 10. So, but for you guys watching, because you came to watch this review and get an analytical perspective, I would definitely give this episode a 3 out of 10.
Interesting. I would probably be like the median, so I'll probably give it like a 6. I thought it was still entertaining. I think this is still one of the best episodes. It's one of those shows like you can just like watch it and just for fun, or if you just like, it's like one of those shows like in between shows that, if you haven't watched something in a long time and you need something to, kill your mind with, but it's still fun.
Kill your mind with, kill your time with,
kill your time, kill your mind with. But there is a lot of like unique talent in the show, and it does talk a lot about the industry and stuff. I haven't seen a show like this, other than like Euphoria. But yeah, I think 6 out of 10 for me. Yeah,
okay,
for sure.
cool. Sounds great. Well, everybody, that is our final review for The Idol. Now streaming on HBO Max, as I said before. Guys, if you made it to the end of this video, please remember to actually like this video. Dylan will give you a lap dance and sing to you if you do.
No promises.
We have plenty of content coming your way. We also have a season 1 review of The Idol where we go more in depth about all the episodes and how we actually felt about it. And we have some interesting hot takes, so stick around for that. Yeah, you guys better be excited for July. We have a special video coming your way, something new that we've never done before, something that I have never done in my life before, so I can't wait, really excited. But Dylan, take us away.
Yeah, check out all our content that we've put already. Akram worked so hard on a video essay recently for 28 Days Later. It was really well edited, guys. Check it out. Check out, like we said, all our Idol reviews, all our Silo reviews. We just wrapped up that show on Apple TV Plus as well. But, you know, just because they're ending doesn't mean we have content planned for the future. So stay with us. Subscribe to the channel. Stay on tour with us. Check out our Apple Music. No, I'm kidding. One day, maybe.
Maybe.
But yeah, thank you guys so much. But until then, thanks for having lunch with us.
See you guys.